Go into the back of your parents' or grandparents' closet. Push past the old coats and look on the top shelf. There's a good chance you'll find an old, dusty leather case with a faded, embossed logo on it. It feels heavy. What if that old mechanical box is actually a legendary piece of optical engineering? What if the lens on the front is made from hand-ground glass, crafted to a standard that is almost unaffordable today? What if that forgotten camera is a highly sought-after collectible, worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? A massive resurgence in film photography has swept across the globe. Today we're going to show you what to look for. The value isn't just in the brand name. It's in a combination of the brand, the lens, the type of camera, and its condition. Let's break it down. We'll explore the legendary brands, the holy grail models, and the secrets to identifying a valuable vintage camera that might just be waiting for you in a forgotten leather case. No. Generation is discovering the magic and the deliberate, thoughtful process of shooting on film. These are the Patek Philippe, or Rolls-Royce, of the camera world. A camera body is a mechanical box, but the lens is the eye. A rare, high-quality lens can be worth many times more than the camera it's attached to. On these cameras, you don't look through the main lens to compose your shot. You look through a separate, smaller viewfinder window and focus using a clever system that overlays two images. Rangefinders are prized by street and documentary photographers because they are smaller, quieter, and more discreet than big SLRs. But most importantly, what is the condition of the lens? These are the specific models that collectors and photographers dream of finding. These are the undisputed masterpieces of the film era. You must check the glass for internal fungus, haze, and deep scratches. A clean lens is absolutely essential. You need to look for what are called fast lenses. That alone cemented its legendary status. The Hasselblad 500 series is a medium format camera, meaning it uses 120 film to produce large, square negatives bursting with detail. It's a system camera, meaning the body, the film back, the viewfinder, and the lens are all interchangeable modules. This versatility, combined with the mind-blowingly sharp lenses made by Carl Zeiss, made it the camera of choice for the world's top studio, landscape, and fashion photographers for decades. If you open a closet and see that distinctive, boxy silver and black camera, you are looking at a true icon of professional photography. Look through the viewfinder and you see exactly what the main lens sees. This became the standard for professional photography. These are the classic square cameras you look down into, like the Rolleiflex. These were mass-produced, but the demand for them from new film photographers is so high that a good working example can easily sell for a couple $100s today. This camera arguably defined the profession of photojournalism for 30 years. It was a 35mm SLR built like a tank. It was a fully modular system camera that was so tough and reliable that it became the standard for combat photographers in the Vietnam War and for photojournalists on every continent. Think of a picture of a photographer in the 1950s. They probably looking down into a square box camera held at their waist. That's a Rolleiflex. Using one is a unique, deliberate experience. It slows you down and makes you compose your shot carefully. They are renowned for their incredibly sharp Carl Zeiss or Schneider Kreuznach lenses that produce beautiful, distinctive images. Go to the used departments of reputable online camera stores like K-Camera or B&H Photo and search for your camera and lens model to see their pricing. For real-world market value, check the sold listings on eBay. Pick it up. Feel the weight of it. Listen to the click of its shutter. You're not just holding a piece of old technology. You're holding a piece of history, a tool for creating art, and it might just be a hidden treasure worth a small fortune. And for deep dive information, go to forums like Photrio where experts discuss these cameras every day. Finding an early Nikon F, recognizable by its simple, sharp-edged prism finder, is like finding a piece of history. They are beautifully crafted mechanical objects that connect us to a more thoughtful, deliberate, and often more artful way of capturing the world. They are a tribute to an era when things were built with precision and meant to last. And tell us in the comments about the first camera you ever used. Look for a serial number on the top plate, the back, or on the lens barrel itself. These cameras have been everywhere and seen everything. Plain prism Nikon F in good working order is a true classic, and one with a rare red dot signifying a special model is even better. When it was released, it was a revelation. combined a rangefinder and viewfinder into one big, bright window, and it introduced the embonet lens mount, which is still used on Leica's digital cameras today. The build quality of an M3 is simply extraordinary. Every lever, every dial, every click is a testament to mechanical perfection. Picking one up, you can feel the density and precision. Photographers talk about the Leica glow, unique rendering quality from their lenses that is almost three-dimensional. The earliest M3 models required 2 strokes of the film advance lever to cock the shutter, and these double-stroke M3 South are highly desirable. Finding a clean, working Leica M3, especially with its original 50mm Summicron F2 lens, is a 5-star find. Is it worth $1,500 to $3,000 or more depending on condition? They have 2 lenses. You compose the shot by looking through the top lens, and the camera takes the picture through the bottom lens. They are beloved for their unique user experience and the high quality of their lenses. The Nikon F series is the most iconic example of a professional SLR system. This is indicated by the f-stop number on the front of the lens. A low f-stop number like f1.8, f1.4, or even f1.2 means the lens can gather a lot of light, making it great for low-light photography and creating that beautiful blurry background effect. These fast prime lenses are where the real value often lies. They were, and still are, known for their uncompromising optical quality, incredible build standards, and innovative designs. A camera with the name Leica on it should always be taken very seriously. And this renaissance has created a booming market for the classic, high-quality cameras of the past. You open the creaking clasps, and inside, nestled in worn-out velvet, is a camera. It's not a digital camera. It's a heavy, intricate machine of metal. They've built incredibly robust, reliable, professional-grade cameras that became the workhorses for photojournalists, sports photographers, and serious amateurs around the world. Brands like Hasselblad from Sweden or Rolleiflex from the USA. These cameras use film that is much larger than standard 35mm film, allowing for images with breathtaking detail and quality. These were the tools of top-tier studio, fashion, and landscape photographers. Their 35mm SLR cameras, in particular, dominated the industry from the 1960s onward. In glass, covered in strange dials, levers, and numbers you don't understand. There's no screen on the back, no slot for a memory card. Your first thought is almost certainly, this is a beautiful but completely useless relic. The age of the smartphone, what possible value could it have? But before you dismiss it as obsolete junk, you need to understand what you might be holding. Today on Treasure Hunters, we're focusing our lens on the incredible, precise, and surprisingly valuable world of vintage film cameras. Welcome back to Treasure Hunters. Before digital sensors, before autofocus, and long before the phone in your pocket became a camera, photography was a different art form. It was a mechanical and chemical process, and the cameras used to capture images were marvels of precision engineering. They were built not to be replaced in 2 years, but to last a lifetime, or even several lifetimes. For decades, these beautiful machines were forgotten, gathering dust as the world went digital. But now, something incredible is happening. Collectors, professional photographers, and young enthusiasts are all hunting for the great cameras of the 20th century, driving up their value and turning them from attic clutter into coveted treasures. So you found an old camera? Looks cool. But what makes one worth $20 and another worth $2,000? First, you have to understand that in the world of vintage cameras, the brand is king. There is a distinct hierarchy. At the very top, you have the German legends. Brands like Leica, Zeiss, Icon, and Rollei. Next are the Japanese titans. After World War II, Japanese companies like Nikon and Canon rose to prominence. And then you have the medium and large format masters. The second, and arguably most important rule, is that the lens is often more important than the body. Third, the type of camera matters because it tells you about its purpose and quality. There are rangefinders like the legendary Leica M series. Then you have the SLR, or single-lens reflex camera. This is the type most people are familiar with. And there's the TLR, or twin-lens reflex. Finally, there's condition. With cameras, functionality is paramount. Does the shutter fire? Do the dials turn? Now let's talk about the legends. Grail number 1, the the Leica M3. The Leica M3 is more than a camera. That is a legend. It is considered by many to be the single finest 35mm camera ever made. Grail number 2, the Hasselblad 500cm. This is the camera that went to the moon. When NASA needed a reliable, high-quality camera for the Apollo missions, they chose a Hasselblad. Grail number 3, the Nikon F. If the Leica was the quiet artist and the Hasselblad was the studio master, the Nikon F was the indestructible workhorse. Grail number 4, the Rolleiflex TLR. The Rolleiflex is the camera that defined the look of classic portraiture. Okay, finding a Hasselblad that went to the moon might be a long shot. But there are many fantastic, valuable cameras that are much more common. Look for the classic student cameras of the 70s and 80s, like the Canon AE1 program or the Pentax K1$. Another great find is the Olympus, OM1 or OM2. These were revolutionary in the 70s for being much smaller and lighter than their Nikon and Canon competitors, without sacrificing quality. They are beautifully designed cameras with fantastic lenses. Don't overlook old folding cameras or bellows cameras. Many were made by Kodak or German companies like Zeiss Ikon. While most common models aren't worth much, some high-end versions with top-tier lenses can be surprisingly valuable collectibles. You've found a cool-looking old camera. How do you quickly assess it? Step 1. Check the lens first. This is the most important step. Take off the front and back lens caps. Hold the lens up to a light source and look through it from both ends. You are looking for 3 deal breakers: fungus, which looks like little spider webs or feathery patterns inside the glass; haze, which is a cloudy or oily film on the internal elements; and deep scratches on the front or back glass. A little bit of dust is normal, but fungus and haze are serious problems. Step 2. Test the mechanics. You don't need film to do this. First, try to win the film advance lever. Does it move smoothly? Now, try to fire the shutter. Listen to the sound. Set the shutter speed dial to a slow speed, like 1 south for 1 second. Press the shutter button. You should hear a distinct carrier click that lasts about a second. Now set it to a high speed like 1/1000th. You should hear a quick, sharp click. If the speeds sound different, the shutter is probably working, which is a huge plus. Step 3. Identify the brand and model. The brand name and model are usually engraved on the front or top of the camera. Write it down exactly. Step 4. Research the value. The internet is your best friend here. In our modern world of instant digital images, there is something deeply satisfying about a vintage film camera. They are not obsolete relics. So when you're cleaning out that closet or exploring an estate sale, don't overlook that old camera. If this video inspired you to look for your own family's old camera, please hit that like button, subscribe to Treasure Hunters.